Hey there, fellow travelers. Welcome back to Travel Practical, where we make exploring new places as stress-free and memorable as possible. Today's video is actually a special viewer request, so thank you to Sherry, who reached out, asking for day trip ideas from Oxford after booking a week-long stay there. I love when you all share your travel plans with me. You know what's magical about staying in Oxford? It's not just the stunning architecture or the centuries of history around every corner. It's the fact that you're perfectly positioned to explore some of England's most enchanting destinations without changing hotels every night. Think of Oxford as your cozy home base for adventures that bring you back before bedtime. Today I'm sharing my favorite day trips from Oxford, the ones that give you that perfect balance of wow factor and practical accessibility. We're talking UNESCO sites, storybook villages, and ancient wonders, all within easy reach without running yourself ragged. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, have you ever been to Oxford or the surrounding areas? Drop a comment below and share your favorite memory or the spot you're most excited to see. Let's kick things off with a true showstopper that's practically on Oxford's doorstep, Blenheim Palace. This UNESCO World Heritage Site isn't just jaw-droppingly gorgeous, it's also incredibly convenient. At just 20 minutes from Oxford by car or a simple 30-minute bus ride on the Stagecoach S3. When you first see Blenheim, there's this moment where you can't quite believe it's real. The scale of this Baroque masterpiece is honestly breathtaking, and knowing it was Winston Churchill's birthplace adds another layer of wow. But here's what many visitors miss. Beyond the opulent state rooms, which are absolutely worth seeing, the 2,000 acres of capability, brown-designed gardens are where the magic really happens. Pro tip for families: the miniature train ride and adventure playground here are absolute hits with kids. Parents, this means you can admire those gorgeous palace interiors without hearing, "I'm bored," every 5 minutes. And here's a travel tip for everyone. Arrive early and head straight to the staterooms to beat the crowds. Then explore the Churchill exhibition and formal gardens later when most tour groups are indoors. While you're in the area, don't rush back to Oxford. The charming village of Woodstock, right outside Blenheim's gates, feels like stepping into a storybook with its honey-colored stone buildings and winding streets. This is Cotswolds Village Life in Miniature. Peek into independent bookshops, grab a pint at a historic pub, and just soak in that quintessentially English atmosphere. Need a peaceful retreat that's just minutes from Oxford? Waterperry Gardens, only 20 minutes away, offers exactly that. The spectacular 200-foot herbaceous border is a riot of color in summer, and the formal garden rooms offer tranquil spaces to sit and simply be. What I love about Waterperry is that it feels like a secret garden, never too crowded, always beautiful, and changing with each season. It's the perfect antidote to busy tourist attractions, and a reminder that sometimes the best travel experiences are the quietest ones. Plus, it's close enough that you could visit in the morning and still have time for Oxford sightseeing in the afternoon. Now, if your travel dreams include postcard-perfect villages with honey-colored cottages and rolling green hills, you're in luck. The Cotswolds region begins practically at Oxford's doorstep. Just 30 minutes from Oxford, Burford welcomes you as the gateway to the Cotswolds. Its steep high street feels like a journey through time, lined with buildings that have stood for centuries. Take your time browsing antique shops and stopping for cream tea. There's no rush here, and that's exactly the point. A bit further, but absolutely worth it, is Bourton-on-the-Water, affectionately called the Venice of the Cotswolds. The gentle river Windrush flows through the center of town, crossed by charming stone bridges that create the perfect photo opportunities. Here's something that always delights visitors of all ages: the Model Village, a perfect 1/9 scale replica of Bourton itself. There's something wonderfully meta about seeing tiny versions of the buildings you were just walking past. Kids absolutely love it, and honestly, adults do too. I catch myself smiling every single time. Travel tip: while having a car gives you the ultimate freedom to explore these villages at your own pace, don't worry if you're relying on public transport. Regular trains and buses connect Oxford to Moreton and Marsh, where you can join small group tours that hit multiple villages in one day. No rental car required. Looking for a hidden gem? Make your way to Lower Slaughter, a village so perfectly preserved and peaceful that it feels almost untouched by time. Despite its somewhat unfortunate name, which comes from the Old English slotra, meaning muddy place, it's one of the most beautiful Cotswold villages. The gentle River Eye flows past gardens and cottages, leading to the old mill, now a charming museum with an ice cream shop that serves the perfect treat for a summer day. This is the place to wander slowly, breathe deeply, and maybe snap the photos that will make your friends back home green with envy. For a completely different kind of day out that's still just 40 minutes from Oxford, the Chinner and Princess Risborough Railway offers a nostalgic journey that both train enthusiasts and casual visitors will enjoy. There's something undeniably magical about steam travel. Perhaps it's the rhythm, the sound, or simply the slower pace that lets you properly appreciate the passing countryside. This Heritage Railway's hour-long round trip takes you through some of the prettiest landscapes near Oxford, and the volunteer staff often share fascinating stories about the railway's history. It's the perfect low-stress adventure that leaves you with both great photos and a sense of stepping back in time. For those willing to venture a bit further, some of England's most iconic destinations await. Literature lovers, this next stop is for you. Stratford-upon-Avon, the birthplace of William Shakespeare, is just over an hour from Oxford by train or car. Walking Stratford's streets feels like strolling through living history. Those iconic black and white timber-framed buildings aren't just for show. They're authentic Tudor structures that have witnessed centuries of history. Visit Shakespeare's birthplace to see where the bard began his story and take time for a peaceful walk along the River Avon. Want an insider tip? If you can possibly time your visit to catch a Royal Shakespeare Company performance, do it. Even if you're not normally a theater person, the production quality is absolutely world-class. There's something magical about watching Shakespeare perform just steps from where he was born. It's one of those travel experiences that stays with you forever. Another cultural gem within day trip distance is the elegant city of Bath. In about 1.5 hours from Oxford, you can be walking the same streets that inspired Jane Austen's novels. Bath is an architectural dream, from the magnificent Royal Crescent, possibly the most elegant street in England, to the ancient Roman baths that give the city its name. The golden-hued bath stone gives the entire city a warm glow, especially in the late afternoon sun. And after exploring the historic Roman baths, which are fascinating for all ages, families can recharge with a picnic in the beautiful parade gardens overlooking the River Avon and Pulteney Bridge. Let the kids run off some energy while you savor the views of one of England's most photogenic cities. For history that goes way back, like prehistoric way back, Stonehenge makes an unforgettable day trip. It's about 1.5 hours from Oxford by car, and I promise it's worth every minute of the journey. There's something almost magical about standing near these massive stones that have puzzled humanity for centuries. You can feel the weight of history here in a way that's hard to describe, but impossible to forget. Hey parents, kids who might be unimpressed by some old rocks will change their tune at the Interactive Visitor Center. The hands-on exhibits and reconstructed Neolithic houses bring ancient history to life in a way that captivates even the most history-resistant children. The best time to visit? Early morning or late afternoon when the lighting is stunning and the crowds are thinner. And definitely pre-book your tickets online. Nothing kills the mysterious vibe quite like standing in a ticket line for an hour. For a day trip that's slightly off the typical tourist path, consider Winchester, just over an hour south of Oxford. Home to Europe's longest medieval cathedral nave, Winchester offers historical depth without the overwhelming crowds. Walking through Winchester Cathedral is a genuinely moving experience, not just because of its soaring architecture, but because of the tangible sense of history. Jane Austen is buried here, and the cathedral's ancient library contains volumes that have survived nearly a millennium. For something truly ancient and mysterious that many tourists completely miss, seek out the Uffington White Horse, a 3,000-year-old chalk figure carved into the hillside about 50 minutes from Oxford. No one knows exactly why our ancestors created this elegant abstract horse, which makes standing before it all the more powerful. The views from White Horse Hill are spectacular in all directions, and the nearby ancient sites, Uffington Castle, an Iron Age hill fort, and Dragon Hill, add to the sense of stepping back into prehistory. This is England at its most mysterious and magical. And because it's less famous than Stonehenge, you'll often have the place almost entirely to yourself. Definitely worth the journey for those seeking something special. Let's talk about the practical side of these adventures. How to get where you're going without stress. You can travel by train. Oxford's railway station is your gateway to many of these destinations. Direct trains connect to Stratford-upon-Avon in about 1 hour 20 minutes, and Bath in around the same time. For Stonehenge, a train to Salisbury plus a quick shuttle bus gets you there smoothly. You can go by bus. The Oxford Tube and regular coach services make many of these trips a breeze. For Blenheim Palace, the Stagecoach S3 runs every 30 minutes from Oxford to Woodstock. No car required. If you're up for it, then venture by car. If your itinerary includes several Cotswold villages in one day, renting a car gives you the most flexibility. Oxford has several rental options, and the road connections are excellent in all directions. And here's a money-saving tip. Always look for combination tickets that bundle transport and attraction entry. Many rail services offer rail and entry deals to places like Blenheim Palace that can save you 15 to 20% compared to purchasing separately. Oh, and don't underestimate the power of a good picnic. Many of these destinations have perfect spots for an outdoor lunch, saving you both money and time that would otherwise be spent in a restaurant. Whether you're drawn to magnificent palaces, ancient monuments, picture postcard villages, literary landmarks, or all of the above, Oxford truly is the perfect base for exploring the heart of England. The beauty of these day trips is that they give you incredible variety without the hassle of constantly packing and unpacking. You can experience a different slice of English heritage each day while returning to your comfortable Oxford base each evening. Remember to check opening times before setting out, especially for historic sites which may have seasonal hours. With just a little planning, you'll create memories that last a lifetime. And isn't that what travel is all about? If you found this guide helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Travel Practical for more stress-free travel inspiration. I'd love to know which of these day trips caught your imagination. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Travel Practical, wishing you happy, stress-free adventures that create the memories that matter most. See you down the road.